Hey guys, I'm Jay Randall. Welcome back to my channel. Today guys, got another video to react to. This one is brought to us by the It's Complicated YouTube channel, one of my favorite channels on YouTube. I love his videos. So today the topic is romance is female worship. Is it female worship? We're gonna find out. Let's see what they have to say about it. So without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Love is a funny thing. The romance stuff and infatuation, none of that is love. It never was love. Love comes 15, 20, 25 years into a relationship with somebody. And how do you get to that point where there's real intimacy and real love if one person's fawning over the other all the time? All it does is build resentment and entitlement.
Who do you think is more romantic, men or women, and why?
Women, because we just think better.
Because we romanticize our whole lives.
I feel like I'm a hopeless romantic sometimes because I come up with so many scenarios in my head about like what I want to do with my partner or like all the fun things and all the cute things, just everything in between.
Why are most romantic songs written by men about women?
That's actually a really good question. I think maybe because they feel like they fantasize a lot.
Because men are horny and sexual. They sexualize everything.
What's the most romantic thing a man can do for a woman?
Think about her in every possible way.
Effort, yeah, just communication, I guess.
What's the most romantic thing a woman can do for a man?
The same thing. Reciprocate all energy.
What does it mean to be romantic?
Reciprocate energy.
Be thoughtful in
What?
planning things that show that you love them.
I think it means to show your love, care, affection, and consideration for somebody materialistically, emotionally, and mentally.
Why is a woman's love more likely something that needs to be earned through courtship than a man's love? Why did society set things up that way?
Because women are the prize.
If men have to
No,
prove
they're
their
not.
worth to the female, how is romance not just female worship?
It is, I guess.
Because women are better than men and they don't need to earn anything. Men need to earn everything.
Why do you think
Bro, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's funny because a guy will see these chicks and find them attractive, get into a relationship with them, and not understand that this is their mindset. This is how they view romance. This is how they view love. This is how they view value. That they are deserving of everything by simply virtue of them being a woman, and you as a man need to fight tooth and nail for everything you get from her. Because you have to earn her. She doesn't have to earn you. She's worthy of you by default. Guys, you got to be careful with these chicks, man. This is crazy, these responses right here. What?
don't reject the romantic model?
Because they want to do it, but they will only do it for the women they want to do it for.
I think it's the other way around. I think a man's love needs to be earned. That's why women have to wait for a man to get on one knee and say that I want to spend the rest of my life with you. We have to earn a man's love and we have to be picked. That's why we don't get on one knee, men get on one knee.
There you go.
If men should masturbate to fill their sexual needs, why don't women read romance novels to fill their romantic needs?
A lot of times women do, but like I said, a woman shouldn't have to do anything. A woman should be attended to, like, without saying.
She's useless, bro. This one right here, useless. What? Can you imagine getting into a relationship with this chick, bro? Like, what kind of value do you think you're gonna get out of it? Like, it's gonna be strictly sexual, and she's definitely gonna leverage that sex against you, 1000%. If this is how she views relationship dynamics, oh, she's a leech, bro. She's an absolute leech. Holy crap, guys! Be careful with these chicks, man.
Should be attended to, like, without saying.
I feel like it's different. Lust and romance don't always go hand in hand. They don't always correlate. I think men tend to be more lustful while women search for romance. And I feel like they're filled in different ways that a book can't compared to a man with lust.
Why should men have any obligations to fill women's emotional needs if women don't feel any obligation to fill men's physical needs?
Because once again, who is a man? Nobody.
Why is Valentine's Day and
Wow.
also weddings typically more about pleasing the woman than celebrating the couple?
Because that's just how the world made it.
Why are there more traditions to celebrate women, and would that make sense if we're living in a patriarchy?
Because women are the prize.
Because if it wasn't for a woman, there wouldn't be any men on this earth. So we should be celebrating women every day.
If it wasn't for a man, there wouldn't be any women on this earth. It takes two to make a child. I don't understand how women still don't understand simple biology. Like, bro. But, like, listening to the mindset of these chicks, man, it's insane. The reason why men are romantic is because men have to do the courting. Men have to, go and prove themselves to the woman, showcase their value. That's the thing. Women have this skewed mindset because they don't have to showcase value to the man initially, like at least up front. Men, we have to really truly understand the woman, understand how she feels, understand how she thinks, and then we get to know what she's into, and then we put on a display to show her just how much we paid attention. I got the flowers you said you really liked. I got the whole setup. I set the mood. I took you on a date. I set the atmosphere. We have to be romantic to create that story for them, that feeling. Since we are the ones who have to initiate everything, the burden is on us a lot of the time. Women are not romantic like that, bro. They don't have to, because women don't have to do much to attract men, they are never thinking in their head, what can I do to be romantic to him? If you have a girl who's like super into you, she will, but that's not their default way of thinking because they're always on the receiving end of romance. When they think of romance, they think of receiving it. When we think of romance, we think of giving it. So it's very different.
But doesn't it take men to also produce more women?
But doesn't it take a woman first? You can get an IVF without a man and still have a baby. You can't be a man and do that. You can only be a woman.
How is romance not just
God.
fueled by Hollywood propaganda teaching men to simp for women?
It is.
Because honestly, and nobody can force you to do anything unless you're just stupid and are easily influenced. Men are 100%, willing to do whatever they want to do. So if they choose to treat a woman a certain type of way and it just so happens to come off as simpy, that's all on their own accord.
And that is precisely why men have stopped. You're right. It is 100% in a man's power to do or not do. And because of chicks exactly like her, which is why the dating scene is turned into what it is today, where men aren't taking women out on dates, men aren't courting as much anymore, men aren't even approaching anymore. And I remember this phenomenon happening like about 3 years prior, where women initially started complaining that all men wanted to do was Netflix and chill. I remember there was like women coming out with videos, there was articles. All men want to do is invite you over to their place, Netflix and chill, and have sex. And you know why? It's because of this mentality right here, where men started really and truly understanding that women are just leeching off of them. And they're like, if I'm not getting value out of this, then I'm going to put in as least amount of effort as possible to get what I want out of the situation. Because if you get into a relationship with a woman like this, who believes that simply off of existing, she's worthy of every good thing that you have to offer, but if you want anything good from her, you must go above and beyond simping for her to get the bare minimum. A lot of guys experience that in relationships, and so they're pulling back. They don't even view it as worthwhile anymore. I believe it's over 50% of men are like not even dating, not even interested. Well, if you have a bunch of these running around, giving men terrible experiences, and trust me, it's not just her with that mindset. Yeah, guys are going to tune out of the dating scene.
Nobody is influencing anybody, not even Hollywood propaganda.
How can chivalry be dead if romance is still the cultural standard for men and women falling in love?
Chivalry is dead, so.
You believe chivalry is dead?
Yeah.
But how could it be dead if that's the cultural standard for men and women falling in
Because
love?
I don't think that's the same thing as being romantic.
What's the difference?
What are you talking
Being
about?
romantic is passionate, and that's opening a door for somebody, like that's common decency.
What's the difference between being romantic and being a simp?
I think there's no difference.
A simp is like you're basically being romantic to a woman that wants nothing to do with you. Romance is like you're doing it to like for your person.
There you go. See, she nailed it. If you're being a simp, you're basically giving away your value for free, right? It's an unequal exchange of value. You're giving way more value than she's giving you. But if you're being romantic, I mean, that's valid. Now, you can still be a romantic simp. I don't think it's, completely the way she said it, but, it's okay to be romantic if the girl you're being romantic to is actually worthwhile. Not like the black chick in this video. Good Lord.
Simp is just doing anything for anyone at all, and being romantic is being with somebody you love and doing things you love for them.
How can you show love to a woman without putting her on a pedestal?
Do everything you can to make her life easier.
Do women put themselves on
What?
a pedestal, or does society pedestalize the women?
We put it on ourselves for sure.
So didn't women set the terms that they needed to be served and placed on a pedestal, which created simping in the first place?
Yes.
So if this imbalance is created by women, why are people blaming simps for women's bad behavior?
Because Sims automatically assume that they're men. A Sim can be a woman. Like, a woman do start a lot of things, but most people just like to blame it on men because nobody likes guys.
What's the craziest thing you've done, or has someone done for you in the name of love?
Nothing.
Like,
I guarantee there have been plenty of guys who have done like a lot of things for her in the name of love, but it's so beneath her, or she's just experienced it so much that to her it's the standard, just the bare minimum. So a guy taking her out on a fancy date, paying for dinner, buying her flowers, to her, that's standard. A guy would have to take her out on like a hot air balloon ride, or fly her out to a fancy vacation in order for it to register on her scale, because she's just experienced so much value. And Myron from Fresh and Fit says this so perfectly. Privilege is invisible to those that have it. And a lot of women, they experience so much privilege that to them, what we see as above and beyond is their bare minimum. And yeah, that's just why she's having that. You think a girl like that, she's pretty good, decent looking. You think a girl like that has gone all this time in her life and a guy hasn't done something for her romantically? Bro, get out of here.
restraining order crazy or romantic crazy?
What's the difference?
A lot. A lot is the difference. The difference is dating in your early 20s and your late 20s.
Do you feel obligated when somebody does some big romantic gesture?
Not necessarily. If I'm dating the person, then it just means a lot, and I'm very grateful.
Do you feel obligated when somebody does some big romantic gesture?
No.
Do you believe men initially do really nice things for women because they want sex?
Yes.
If so, why would a woman ever accept an extravagant offer from a man if she wasn't interested in
It's
having
hard
sex?
to. It's hard to.
Can you be more specific? What do you mean?
It's hard to accept romantic gestures because that's what they want.
Do you believe two people can ever love each other equally, or is one going to love the other one more?
I think one's going to love the other more.
Is it true that
And it better be her loving you more, bro. It better be her. And it doesn't have to be a great, difference in how much, but it needs to be like 10, 20, 30% difference, right? She has to be looking up to you. It has to be that way, bro. Otherwise, you get this kind of chick who thinks that she's better than you in every way and that you are lucky to be in her presence. And it's just funny because the girls who have this mentality, it's so crazy. The ones who have this mentality have the least amount of value. They have the highest body count. They're the most insufferable. And it's like they just bring the least amount of value into your life. Gotta be careful. I know I keep saying that, but good Lord, a lot of guys just go off looks alone. Then they end up with like blood-sucking leeches like this one, and then they're complaining about why the relationship like is so terrible. It's like, bro, because she's taking, and giving nothing in return. Listen, actually ask her questions. Get to see her mindset. That's how you'll know how she's going to treat you.
whoever loves the other one less has the power?
Yes.
So if women want to submit to a man's leadership, wouldn't that mean the woman needs to love the man more than he loves her?
Yes.
So why do women think it's the opposite?
Honestly, I think it depends on the person because not every woman thinks like that.
Because men are supposed to lead, and if you lead, then we're submissive.
Should a man be expected to love a woman for who she is if a woman only loves a man for what he provides?
Honestly, in society, yes, men are expected to, but is it fair for it to be like that? Technically not, but if we're going, statistic wise, yeah.
Is there a difference between how men and women show love?
Yes.
What is that difference?
I think they're more protective and act like your father when they love you.
Why don't women show love to men in the same way that women want to receive love from men?
Because women are women and men are men, and they have completely different mindsets.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? Dating for women is like shopping, while dating for men is like a job interview that he's paying for.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
That's true.
We feel like they're runner-ups and contestants.
So we have
And that is why you gotta view them the same way, bro. This is why you gotta level up. Because when you are at the bottom of the barrel, when you are like not as attractive physically, like your body's out of shape, you don't know how to dress, you don't have game, you're not ambitious. When you're at that state of being, you are always going to be like fighting tooth and nail to beat out the other guys. And there's always competition, but you're never in the like high on the list. You're like somewhere low at the bottom rung. You have to make yourself as attractive as you possibly can so that you have all the options. Women are coming after you, they're putting you at the top of their list, and you have a bunch of women putting you at the top of their list, and you get to select. Trust me, guys, I know in your early 20s, you're at the bottom, and it feels like you're competing against every single guy on planet Earth to get even the slightest bit of attention. But if you can continue working on yourself, you will get to the point where girls are messaging you first, where girls are like vying for your attention. I know you might be at a place where you can't even fathom that's possible, but coming from a guy who was at the bottom and now has girls messaging him first, I'm telling you, you can 1000% get to that point. So just keep working on yourself, bro, because you don't want to be in the position that she just described, where you're just a runner-up and you're auditioning. Nah, that's not where you want to be, bro. That's where you get the least submission, you get the least respect. She puts the least amount of effort in, and you fall into the, the pleasing. You have to please her in every way. Happy wife, happy life dynamic. Don't do it, bro. Work on yourself. Have options, and then select your women from a position of power.
options because y'all would pick a tree if it had a vagina. So of course it's shopping for us, but for men it's a job interview because like y'all are so thirsty. We have to pick the right man. Like there's no demand for the supply. So of course we can go shopping for it because it's in abundance. But we are a lot more like coveted with our goodies. So that's why it's a job interview, because if you want to get in, you have to work for it.
If women have an abundance of choices, would women ever enter an arrangement where they weren't knowingly in control?
No.
So if women are the choosers, how are men the leaders?
Good question.
And that's why men fall into happy wife, happy life. Because they maintain that same dynamic from the start, from how they got the girl, is how the relationship's going to be structured. If you're simping for her, if you're at the bottom rung and you have to simp so hard till she finally is like, you know what, this guy's just providing so much value and not asking for anything in return that I'm just going to, get with him because he's simping the hardest, then yeah, your whole relationship dynamic is going to be happy wife, happy life. And she's going to call all the shots because she holds the leverage. Because in her mind, you're lucky she even picked you. You never want to be in that position.
Can men lead if it's by women's terms?
I have no clue.
Are men leading when they subject themselves to rejection at a woman's discretion?
No.
So then why do we say that men are leaders when women are in control?
We want you guys to lead while we're still in control.
Thank you for being honest.
That's ridiculous.
If we're told that the average man isn't good enough for the average woman, how is that not pedestalizing women and belittling men?
I definitely think it is. I don't feel like as society we view that as an equal playing field, but I don't feel like how we should view people. Everyone has a heart, everyone has a soul, and I don't believe that's how we should look at each other.
Why do men continue to pedestalize women while women continue to degrade men?
I think it depends on the relationship. I don't see all women degrading men, and I don't see all men degrading women. I think it just is up for interpretation and how one's relationship's going.
Listen, the pedestalization of women, that's coming to an end. As you can see by the data, and I'm going to be covering some more videos on this, like men are... This whole phenomenon of men just like tuning out of dating, it is growing rapidly. Like the last thing I saw was like over 50%. I wonder what it is now, bro, because it's growing like crazy. And women are at the point now where they're begging men to come back into the dating scene and start dating again, because women just don't have options. At first, they were complaining that they don't have the high quality options of the rich men, the guys who have finished college and all that. They were saying, oh, women don't have high quality options. Now they're saying women don't have options at all because so many men have tuned out of the dating scene. So this pedestalization of women, let's come to an end, bro. The how I'm hearing men talk on the internet now, and the statistics that are backing it up. Yeah, men are done. Men are done pedestalizing women. So there might be a few holdouts. There's definitely always going to be an army of simps, but even the simps are starting to realize that, this just isn't worth it. And they might be jerking off to OnlyFans chicks, but they're not chasing women in real life, and that's what women actually want. So this pedestalization, it's crumbling real quick, and women are wondering, well, what's going on? I used to be simped on hard, and now dudes, I can't even get them to, actually follow through with a date. The world's changing.
Women aren't expected to be with average men, then why are men expected to be with women past their prime?
I've been with some pretty average men, so I don't think it comes down to what someone looks like. I think as people's soul and the way that they are means more than what a look can.
Do you believe that unconditional love is possible in a romantic relationship?
Yes.
Or are people
No.
only as loyal as their options?
I think it's possible.
People are only as loyal as their options. That's always the case. People will always choose up. They will always choose up. And I agree. Choose up.
Nah, women will always choose up. A man might step out and smash something that he finds attractive or more attractive or even less attractive than the girl he's with. And oftentimes, when he steps out, he'll smash a chick that's less attractive because it's easier. It's not about necessarily where she ranks on the scale of attractiveness as to why he'll step out and cheat. It's just he wants something new. That's the novelty, not necessarily how attractive she is. That's a bonus. It's just the new thing. Women will trade up and actually leave the guy that she's with. That's the difference. Men aren't leaving the woman that they're with. They might try something new, but they're coming home to the woman that they love because men love deeper. When we've committed to a chick and we like, this is my girl, we love her deeply. Like, we might smash the chick who, is like a bust down, but we're not dying for her. If something pops off and bullets start flying, she's on her own. But if anything happens to the girl we're with, we're we're diving in front of those bullets like freaking the Secret Service would do for the president. Trust me. Like, guys really deeply care about the woman they've committed to emotionally. But yeah, women will absolutely trade up because that's just more in their nature. Men, it's more in our nature to just pursue variety.
Because your man will choose up.
Can you think of any type of love other than romantic love where money is an issue?
A dog. I love my dog unconditionally. He's broke. He's my best friend. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. I'd die for him. Shout out to Nacho.
So wouldn't that mean that romantic love is conditional?
It is conditional because romance is not free. Romance requires work, effort. Sometimes it requires money depending on who you're with. So if you're not able to provide what that person needs to feel romantically in love, then it's conditional.
Well, wouldn't that mean that romantic love is conditional if money is a factor?
No. Okay. So there is possible for you to be in love and there is no type of financial relationship within it. Like, that is most definitely possible, and it's just not as common.
Well, shouldn't love be...
It's not as common because women are the ones who want money. Men aren't the ones who need or require money to feel love for their partner. That's women. That's completely on the female's end. The money aspect can't be removed from the dynamic because it's something women require, not men. We don't care how much money a woman makes. We don't care if she spends money on us. We don't care if she takes us out on fancy dates. We don't care about that. We care about does she actually like me? Do we have a connection? And that's it. That is really it, bro. Like, women implement the money aspect of things.
About acceptance rather than expectation?
Yes, but it's 2025 and that's the evil world we live in.
Well, who's perpetuating that evil?
Society.
Aren't women half of society? And aren't women in control of relationships?
But yes, at the end of the day, they're never wrong. So there's nothing you can say to make me go against women.
Wow. I absolutely love this channel. He always hits so perfectly with the questions, man. Yeah, man, romance is definitely, to a degree, female worship if done wrong. Romance to the right woman who actually is deserving of it, that's good. But in modern society, men have to be very careful with who they're giving romance to, because as you can see by this video, not every woman is worthy. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know if you agree with some of the talking points. If you disagree, let me know your take. And until next time, guys, take it easy.